Hello everybody, welcome to the Insatiables, featuring 3/5 of our cast today. We have two people missing, and I am just barely here. In our top left today, instead of Greg, we have Rube. Say hello, Rube.
Hello, Rube.
Who are you playing?
I'm playing Pax Posadio.
When did you join the Caravan, Pax?
I joined the Caravan about a month and a half ago.
A month and a half ago? Okay. Next up we have Nick, also playing as someone. Who are you, Nick?
I'm playing as Jonal.
Who is Jonal?
Jonal is a local street urchin who's come to their sorceress power.
Oh.
Half elf with bloods of the dragons in him.
I see. Very cool. When did you join the Caravan?
Probably would have been the last couple of weeks.
Okay. We'll say the 8th.
I'm new here.
We'll make it a week, exactly. Where we can change. No big deal. And Red, who are you playing?
I'm playing Simon Tuthguk. Dwarven extraordinaire, battle master, guy who turns monsters into sellable objects, such as weapons or jewelry.
And when did you join the Caravan?
You know, I've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Probably too long to remember the exact amount of time.
Jeez. Multiple years?
Yeah, to a dwarf, it's all the same.
Shit. Okay. Can you guys believe he's been a caravan guard for multiple years and he's only level 3? What a loser guy.
I spend a lot of my time not guarding. Instead,
He's not a good Caravan guard, is what he's
Oh,
saying.
I see.
I never said I was a good guard. I just am.
Oh. Well then. I don't have a calendar that goes back multiple years, but now I know in my head. Guys, what happened last week? Anyone at all?
Sure.
Stabbed the creature.
Last week, we started our first session of this campaign on the hunt for a manticore that had been plaguing the local populace. Out of Dan Ibel, we trekked across the wasteland and tracked down the manticore to some ruins, where it promptly defended itself against our attacks. After some combat, we slayed the manticore. We examined the manticore. We found its feeding grounds and its food supply, which were some of the miners and people of the area, including some goblinoids.
Yeah.
We found that the manticore had a bracer on that marked it as part of Sarl the Insatiable's armies in the Kingdom of Fire. Then the blood from the manticore seeped into this ancient sigil in the ruin, coalescing into a glass-like blood gem or blood diamond, which Jonal examined and was able to find it was part of a spell code or a spell.
Stone, I think, was the word that was used.
Yeah.
It was part of a spell construct of some sort. And when he identified this, he was given a riddle. Because when you identify magical items, you get some verbiage from the person who made the magical item. And the riddle was, "Ye who seek the frosted cold, look to source of the northern serpent. Within the shade of the setting soul, the second serpent's waters orient. Find what lays beneath the falls, and you shall see my king's sacred hall. Embrace the bitter, do not rapport, and you shall find ice that looks like feathers." From there, we took our prize of the manticore's head to prove the kill, some other trophies and oddities, and we made our way back to Dan Ibel to claim our prize from the overseer there. After doing that, we went to one of the local taverns, made merry, and discussed the riddle.
Publicly, I want to point out.
very publicly. We very publicly discussed this riddle. Huang Guanjun went out seeking something. Found mostly rumors of an assassin in the area. While we continued to banter back and forth, eventually driving our old caravan friend Bahamaron, partly insane, before we did retire for the evening. I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, that's it.
But since we have some riddles, and we have some world building we need to do as well, I want to question you guys. Why was the Manticore so far away from the Kingdom of Fire?
The disappearance of Cyril the Insatiable.
Do we all know about these rumors from the Hoarfrost Coalition of Cyril the Insatiable being missing?
Oh yeah, it's the talk of the town. In fact, it's what we're gonna open in on once my eyes work. Oh, which is never.
I mean, Big Boss is gone, and leadership is now, instead of looking outwards, is looking inwards, which means there's probably a lot less focus on keeping manticores and other such creatures in to do their bidding, and instead, like, where's Big Boss?
I feel bad for the Manticore. He's an AWOL like me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's kind
but
of
just
silly.
like you, at some point there's going to be a group of guys hunting you down.
But a casual 2,200.5 miles away? That's a huge distance, guys.
Maybe he was looking for something, and
Maybe he had found something.
Maybe he
Yeah.
was guarding something.
Maybe he had found something when you all stumbled upon him. Regardless, it is his blood, this unknown, unnamed manticore, that
Let's name him.
activated the Strange
Charlie.
Blood Diamond to a spell code. To give a little bit of lore, we all know the hit spell, counter spell, as well as dispel magic. Some would even say those two are the most important spells in the game for any wizard to pick up, along with literally any other spell a wizard has access to. Looking at you, Magic Missile. Regardless, John has introduced a new magical mechanic, and we have spellcasters in the group, so I feel like I owe it to you, honestly, to explain that in a little bit more detail. That said, only if you want it. Do you guys want some lore?
Give it to me. Give me the lore.
Do you want
Lay
some
it flat.
free lore while no one's watching us?
Yeah,
Yes.
Guys,
lore dump.
John will not lore dump. However, he will explain that in the world, there are spells of great power. We all know the mysterious wish spell, right? But truly fantastical spell that can do any spell. Well, it's a myth. It's a legend. It's not real. However, unique individuals can create their own to moderate and or greater effects. Spells that are even above 9th level, that require outside magic to help. These spell codes, the mysterious 10th level plus, are incredibly powerful, world-changing or world-altering effects. However, because they're so powerful, they're exceptionally hard to conjure, to create. But how do you get it? That's the real question. Every archwizard wants to create their own. Often it involves snagging powers from extraplanar beings, such as demons, eldritch abominations, and or the divines themselves. Other times, someone just wants a really good version of Fireball that can't be counterspelled, in which case they make a special spell, bind it in a bunch of extra bullshit that is usually magical in nature, and then effectively make it counterspell or dispel magic proof. After all, counterspell is effectively a I'm within 60 feet of you, let me spit in your mouth to interrupt your verbal, somatic, or material component. mostly spitting in people's mouths, does stop a wizard from uttering the incantation needed to conjure a fireball. However, aside from, you know, I guess binding a spell into like a spell scroll or a staff to instant cast it, or a sorcerer's subtle spell. Jonal, do you have subtle spell?
Yeah, I do.
Subtle spell's great when you don't want to get counterspelled, guys. If you're able to knock out all of your components and a wizard doesn't know that a spell's being cast, boom, he just gets fireballed straight in the face. It's great. Fantastic, even. Spell codes are kind of like that, just so complicated that spitting in somebody's mouth isn't enough. You know? Much like Dispel magic. The spell's too large of an effect to even affect with Dispel magic. And that is why the Hoarfrost Witch's spell is so important. It can't be just dispelled by 500 wizards with 3rd level spell slots. It's too much. You can't counterspell it. She's already casted a spell. And it continues to get colder and colder in Eos Majoris. That is the lore of today's lesson. And you all, with potentially a way of getting this spell, oh, you can do so much with it.
Don't we have a spellbook crystal?
Basically, it's a spellbook crystal for one specific high-level spell. Yes.
So, do we think
Collect all
that
the rocks, and you get it.
we have to, like, collect all these rocks, like, unlock this weird spell?
Uh-huh.
It's a totally original idea, but I mean, that's...
We have to collect all the Dragon Balls to get the wish spell.
Yeah.
I like
Dragon
it.
Ball Z sucks. Regardless. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the grand quest of this campaign, I suppose.
Let's collect some rocks.
We found one, and we have a clue to get the next one to the north. But we have to wait for the caravan to go.
Indeed. Now that lore's done, let's go into this campaign. It's the 14th of Fantasy July, also known as July in Eos Majoris. It's hot. It's a hot summer day as you all are traveling north. Excuse me. Let me go to my Dan Ibble map. Doo-doo. You all have just set out from the unwalled city of Dan Ibil, our glorious little riverside town, because my eyes are dying. Let me change the music.
And this is a cool map.
Thank you. More to come. Probably not Jungle Ruins. Let's go for Carney's Dance. No. Just suddenly we are in a carnival. That's all battle music. Working Clockworks works.
Where's our whimsy?
Yeah, here's some whimsy for you. Now, Bahama, whatever we're gonna call him, Baja.
Baja
short.
Man.
Baja Blast himself has a small merchant's caravan of 3 wagons that are horse-drawn. We love the horse-drawn carriages. He has 6 drivers who are a part of his caravan who switch seats. Some rest while others lash the horses. These guys are effectively stable hands for hire that have just stayed on for several years now. Jesus. There's also some mundane guards. Effectively, these are porters, loaders, and in a scrap, they can bust out the club and kill a goblin or whatever. But they're not like career soldiers. They're not adventurers. They're not magical. They're just strong dudes Bahamron has hired on in his nomadic lifestyle. Supposedly, he lives somewhere, like he has a center/headquarters as part of the guild he works with, but he has never once gone there with any of you present, meaning he's at least been on the road for several years now, without ever once going home. Not the funnest thing in the world. And currently, you guys are headed
Sounds
north.
amazing.
Yeah.
You've been on the road with this guy for 2 years without going home? That's my dream.
You never want to go home again, Joan Hall?
I mean, I've lived in this place all my life as, you know, as the poorest of the poor, the weakest of the weak.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much out there to explore. It's not necessarily that I'd never come back here. It's just there's so much to explore out there.
There sure is. Oh. I want to know where you all are placed within this caravan's organization. Starting with you, Thymond. You're the most veteran right now.
I think I kind of just chill in the back wagon, in the back of the cart, just kind of sitting there, carving into stuff, while occasionally just looking back, making sure that we're not being tracked by anyone.
You're the rear guard?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. What about you, Jonal? Are you up in the front, looking at the wild world before you?
Yeah, I think at least for now, that's probably where Janal would be. He's be looking at whatever new sites we have coming up on the horizon.
Mm-hmm. I getcha. And then, of course, Pax, where are you?
Pax is proficient in land vehicles, so he probably is in the second wagon.
Okay.
And he, every now, if they need, he will drive for a little bit. But typically, he's just in the wagon with his bow next to him.
I see. Riding shotgun, as it were, or
Mm-hmm.
in this case, riding crossbow.
Riding crossbow.
Red doesn't appreciate this joke. He just shifted uncomfortably.
I shifted a lot, John. I thought it was a good joke.
Oh, okay. I thought you hated it. Well, that makes things difficult for me because Osric and Hongwang Jun are somewhere else, which means they're T-posing awkwardly with at least one of you, maybe even two of you. We'll find out more on where they exist during the caravan later. Maybe they're even walking beside it, or hitched to the top of the roof.
T-posing beside it.
We drag T-posers behind the carts. They have unnatural magic that just keeps them up.
They're just ragdolling behind, completely fine. Okay. Well, while you are traveling up the Erdgina River, this longest river of the world, which is totally not a Nile or Danube equivalent. It's mostly Nile, let's be real. It's mostly Nile. You
White or the
will
red?
pass the great plantations and also farmlands that stretch on and on and on. Strings of buildings for villagers, as well as just local homesteaders who live in the fields, or work in the fields, live in the woods, go into the hills, go into the mountains, or the ravines. Excuse me. Can be found. Currently, you fear not the bandit, brigand, nor monster. You are in a heavily patrolled area, just a day out from Dan Ibble. As John changes the music, puts on a little bit of some tensity. Let's find out who Bahamron is sitting with, because he's got some questions for Honestly, mostly Jonal, but maybe he doesn't want to rush the newcomer. Who is in my second card? That was Pax, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Pax, Bahammaron is in your cart today. He is currently in the back, effectively counting the days, which you will need to travel before your next true stop. Rather, his merchant business will need to take some time to restock and do boring mathematical shit. And I want you to tell me how Bahammaron hired you, or what was the inciting incident that caused you to join him now for a month and a half?
Yeah, a month and a half ago, my plan with a certain assassin went awry over in a city not that far from Akamora, or Akamori.
Mm-hmm.
And to flee town, I faked my death and begged on to join several caravans, and the only one that accepted me was Bahammaron's.
Oh.
Classy.
Does he know you faked your death, or
No,
is Pax even your real name?
maybe.
Okay. Well, Pax.
Yeah.
While you are with Bahammaron, he calls towards you for a minute, and you duck your head in, which I believe your left eye is eye patched, right?
Yes.
But it can still see through the eye patch?
It can still see through the eye patch, yeah.
It's just a thin layer of bullshit. You turn around with just your eye patch showing. As he, after all, you're in the crossbow position of the guard. Fucking shotgun. I'm so sorry. I'm making myself laugh. Bahammaron calls out to you, Pax. Hey, Pax. Pax. Buddy.
Yeah, Bahammaron?
I got a question. Come in here.
Fine. And he Pax ducks backward lazily towards Bahammaron.
Indeed. We need not care about Shauna Shear up there in the driver's seat. And he sits awkwardly on a crate as the wheels bump along with the... God, I want to say chariot. That's not right. The wagon, excuse me. I've got a question.
I hate to phrase it this way, but shoot.
Well, it's about... honestly, your shooting. Let's be real, Pax. How do you fire a longbow so well when you have no depth perception?
You'd be surprised what you can accomplish with one eye, Bahammaron. A lot of practice. A lot of practice.
Just practice?
Practice makes perfect.
I get you. I ask because, well, he shows you that part of his merchandise, that's what I want to say. Fuck. Has several short bows in it. It's like, I've been tasked to deliver several short bows to the next settlement. Apparently, it's going to be hunting season soon. And one of the judges has currently lost vision in his right eye. I don't know if you could offer up some tips that I can send his way to maybe grease some wheels. If you know what I mean.
Of course. I do know what you mean. To help you with your business, I'm more than happy to. And Pax will spin some bullshit that he hopes sounds legitimate, because his powers come from lessons he's received in his dreams, and he knows not the source.
Yeah, give me a deception check real quick.
Got it.
That
15.
is a 15. Let's find out if Bahamaran, man who is both insightful and merchant, can see you're bullshitting him. I see.
But like
How
I
would
was
you
saying,
close
you
your
want to put
eyes?
an app. Oh, I was about to tell you how to put the apple on a friend's head and practice that way. The stakes are so high, you have to get better. How did
Oh,
I lose
yeah.
my eye? Oh, well, tragic accident that. I was kicked in the face by a mule.
Oh, it just tore out your eye with its hoof?
No, I'm kidding. I grew up over by the barren wastes, and there's not the friendliest things in the woods there.
There's
And
no
I was
woods
lucky.
there, so I assume not. It's a wasteland.
Exactly, and and in my infinite wisdom, Bahamaran, I thought to prove myself out in those wastelands, and certain creatures and monsters didn't take kindly to that. And I'm lucky to escape with at least one eye.
I understand. Now, Pax. Good old Pax. Pax. When I hired you, I didn't ask questions. And I'm not going to start now. But, we're getting new blood. He gestures forward to where Jonal is. And it seems like your band of adventuring friends who have co-signed to join us are taking on more and more dangerous, fame-increasing tasks, we'll call them. And I need to know that whatever caused that isn't going to come looking for us.
Oh, we're so far away. I highly doubt that is what trouble I would drag behind me.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're so far from that. Thankfully, thanks to you, we're so far from that. Yes. What any touches his eye patch and he's like, no, this should not concern you or your business.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, that's all I needed. Can I offer you anything?
No, I still have eye cream, and like I was saying, you want to put the apple on a friend's head. Children are better.
Oh, yeah?
And you practice that way, and even without depth perception, but death perception for sure, you do get better. Maybe that'll
not
aid your.
What I will offer the man.
But no, my adventuring friends have found a rather interesting adventure. And so I think that is the danger I'm headed towards next.
Let's see. Is this about that fucking riddle that I'm still pissed off at?
It is about that fucking riddle. It's I think it's a good riddle. But like all riddles, people perceive it different ways. I think we're heading the right direction.
I see. Well, that's all I knew. You can go back to doing whatever you were doing.
Got it, boss. And he goes back to his crossbow position.
You shall. Crossbow position. Mr. Thymond, in the back of the wagon, keeping an eye out as the quote-unquote rear guard. What are you really doing?
Well, I, as the extraordinary guard I am kind of just sitting there, carving into like the manticore needles, trying to figure out what to do with them.
These great big barbs that act like javelins.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like ornately carving this giant javelin with like little stories about dwarves, little pictures.
Yeah, for sure. Give me a carver's tools check.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if this will actually roll if I do it.
It might prompt you for an attribute.
I click it multiple times. What do you want me to attribute it to?
God, it has to be charisma, surely, for all these beautiful stories that you're trying
I'm gonna
to tell.
argue that it's not charisma. It might be like dexterity on how well I'm carving it.
Okay,
Or
I can see it.
Nimbleness.
Yeah.
Ooh, solid 13.
On
I'm not the
a
highest
solid
roll. Okay.
13, you will... How many of these things do you have? Like 9 of them or something?
I have a lot of them. Okay.
You have a lot of them?
I have a lot of chances to make a good one. I have 12.
Subtract 1 for on a 13 by gently chiseling into this thing. You get like halfway through the full narrative during this stint of the journey. And when you hit a little bit too hard, just barely too hard, it
little bump
washes
on the
the
wheel.
point. Like, you know, you have the weakened end that you've been chiseling into, and then there's the tougher end, which you haven't, and you just hit, like, the perfect middle, and just watch as half of the barb shatters. And you look at the work you've just lost. It wasn't an even split. Like, the strong half is still fully there, so now you have, like, half of a manticore barb, but you look at the other half that you had just spent 5 hours carving into. And are just stunned by how brittle these things can be.
Well, thankfully, right, Thymond is a rational person.
Uh-huh.
And he will hold this manticore needle that's broken in his hands and very responsibly curse out loud in Dwarvish and shatter it on the ground behind the cart.
Just throw it. Fuck!
Like, just immediately slam it as hard as he can. And then very
the driver
patiently...
looks back at you as you do this. It's like, everything good back there, Thymond?
Well, everything's fine.
Okay. Just sounded
gonna
like
grab out-
something shattered and blew up.
It did. That's I'm gonna pull out another manticore one and start the process all over again.
Well, you may want to hold on to that. We're about to take a break. We're almost out of village.
Nah, if you insist.
Stretch your
Well,
legs. Piss.
Put it
you
back.
know.
And start prepping, getting some armor on, and getting my weapons ready to go to the village.
You throw on your chainmail or whatever the fuck you have. And
It's
hop
chainmail.
out. Jonal, the Glimmering.
That was yesterday. Today I'm Jonal the Gregarious.
Now the doubtful.
Is this the meme? Is this... Am I gonna need to change your nameplate every week?
You not read what he said? That's exactly what the gameplay is.
Jonal the Gregarious. You have spent the past 5-ish hours sitting in front of the cart. What are you up to? What's that been like for you?
I think it's like Jonal has like a nervous, anxious energy here leaving his hometown. He hasn't gone further than he's ever gone before at this point. But that point will be coming, and it will be coming soon.
The Samwise Gamgee. This is the farthest I've ever stepped away from the Shire moment.
For sure. That's
Wise Gangry.
for
You're
sure
like
coming.
Farmer Maggot's farm right now.
Excuse me, did you just call him Maggot?
Isn't that his name?
Why would you insult the kind farmers of this land? I turned to the driver.
I'm so sorry. I'm from Island
His name is
country.
Jim. Come on.
Jib?
J-I-M?
J-I-B? Oh.
G-I-M.
J-A-M. His name's Jam. What's his favorite
He
flavor?
can get you out of a jam.
Jim Jam's
Lemons?
Farm?
Actually, he can serve you a jam.
He looks to Pax like, these guys don't own their farms, let's be real. As you all hop out, Jonal, the local master here, having all the information about all the farmers, will point out things of interest and note. For those of you who are concerned, you are roughly here on this stretch of road where there are many a traveler's stall. There's a great big inn that is seemingly made out of stone that used to be like a garrison building that has been converted into this place of business. You see several other wagoners and carts in processes of loading up produce from the grain stores here to either take to town or take elsewhere. You also see that there is a large stockpile of lumber, for there are many lumberjacks and lumberers here in this general area. On small-scale operations, not like city-demanding things. After all, anyone could technically cut down a tree and sell it. You've
got to try some of the bristleberry jam. Bristleberry is not a real thing, but they won't tell us what's in it.
There's just bugs inside this jam, and that's the bristly.
It's delicious.
It's
I hear it's good for your bones.
I think I'm gonna hold off on the jam.
Yeah, you learn not to eat things that are questionable when you're riding in a caravan.
Especially when they have the word bristle.
Yeah, it's not a good adjective, Janal.
Oh, you don't like the bristle jam? Pax, what's your favorite jam?
Definitely apricot.
Mm-hmm. Why apricot?
It's in real life it's my favorite, so I just went with that.
Oh, okay. Understood. You're fully immersed, is what you're telling me.
I think this is actually a guy that I've run a scam with, selling his cheap jam, using prestidigitation to make the samples taste good.
Like, Jonal, business has been going incredibly poorly ever since you went legit.
You know, I'll
like 90% water.
Listen, buddy, I can't help you out anymore. I'm trying where I can, but
Man, I got 4 kids.
I'm on my way out.
I'm
out of here.
Man. We had a good thing going.
You know, maybe you can find yourself a new way. And I'm gonna hand him off 25 gold.
Wow.
Let me have some of that jam, though, for sure.
He sells you his entire stock of jam for 25 gold, which is a
One
lot
jar.
of money for him. It's like 5 months' wages or something. It's like, oh shit. Thank you, Jonal. And he hugs you. You all watch as Jonal is hugged by a peddler selling the worst jam in the world.
I think Jonal just got scammed.
Yeah, it's a good lesson for him to learn if he's new traveling. Scams like that in every village.
I bet that guy doesn't even have kids.
He's probably got dogs. His 4 kids are his dogs.
It's just piles of mud dressed up in clothing.
Hey,
I think that's a dwarven schizophrenia. I think humans just have dogs.
hey, listen, those dogs are very nice.
They're my first.
Gotta
Told you.
make sure that they're fed.
Told you it was dogs.
Look, One
starts
day,
crying
it's going to
and
be a
walks away.
pile of mud, and you're going to thank me.
I think that's a dwarven thing. I think Osric's children are piles of mud.
Osric doesn't have children.
I thought Osric said they did.
He's an uncle. His
Even
nieces
worse.
and nephews.
Bahamron and the horses are watered. Bahamron is trying to figure out exactly when the last point of civilization is so that he can stop there rather than just at this town in the middle of the day. And as he's getting a local understanding, he immediately wishes to divert course to the river, where there is a grand guild hall that sits exactly on the river, and he might be able to speed up his journey away from overland, which is far more dangerous than on the river itself. But while he is doing that, you all are accosted by a local elder guy. Not an elder man, which is a rank, it is a title and a position within village life, but an elder guy who's just an old 70-plus-year-old man who Jono probably knows. What's this guy's name?
Darmoon.
Darmoon, the elder, comes on over to you, Jonal. He's like, Jonal!
Yes?
I've got a question for you, now that you have found new friends.
Yes?
Introduce me to them. Quit being rude.
Well, this here is Pax.
That's
Howdy,
your
old
name,
timer.
Pax?
Pax, yeah.
Your
That's my
parents
name.
did not love you, did they?
One time they did, but
That's
thanks. It's not like it's
horrifying
a
and revelatory.
yeah.
Who's your dwarven friend?
I don't
Which
have any
one?
dwarven friends.
Who's the dwarf next to you?
What was your name again?
It's Thymond, Jonal. Thymond.
Nice to meet you,
Thyman?
Mr.
Thyman?
Nice to
Okay,
meet you,
Thymond.
young man.
Darmoond offers to shake your hand, Thymond.
I'm gonna like pat him on the head if he like bends over and say, "Hey there, youngster."
There's no way he can. He's already bent forward. You'd have to like hop and bop him.
I'll do that. I'll hop and bop.
You hop and bop. Oh, my goodness, you're such a spry fellow for a creature such as you.
When I was your age, I was even sprier.
Wow. Understood. I've got a question for you, Mr. Thymond.
I might have an answer for you.
Now, what is the dwarven stance upon Sorrow the Insatiable? And his disappearance, I mean. Not just, him in
Oh.
general.
I was going to tell you. That's
You know,
how much time do we have? I could speak for 3 days
I'll
straight on how much we
probably
hate
die
him.
tomorrow, so who knows?
Well, let's start at the basics, right? So, in the beginning, right, all dragons aren't that good. We don't like them. They've never done
Okay.
any good, and they're evil.
No, but
Right.
what about him missing?
But Sorrel the Insatiable, especially, is an evil and terrible dragon. But now that he's missing, right, dragons don't go missing. He's out there somewhere, and we have to track him down.
I agree. I'm glad to see that the dwarven stance is a sensible one. Good old... What's his name? He looks to Jonal about the other elder in this area. What's the other elder's name? Five, 4, 3, 2.
First the one that comes ahead. Go, quick. Now,
Harwan.
just say it.
The other
Tarwan.
guy named Tarwan thinks it's the best news ever. Sarl can finally be somebody else's problem. But I'm of the opinion that he still needs to fucking die.
You gotta have a lot of opinions for such an old man.
Old men only have opinions. Haven't you figured us out by now?
No,
You
I'll
come
never
from
get
a
that
place
old.
With no old people.
By the
None that
good of the
I would talk
trifecta,
to.
You'll strike him down.
Oh. I'm glad to hear it, Mr. Thymond. Alright, that's all I want to say. Fuck you, Jonah. Fucking scamming piece of shit. He says to you.
Fuck you too.
Nice to meet
the
you.
Elder says his farewells to Jonah. But it does spark a small conversation with you three, if you wish. What are your opinions of Sarl the Insatiable's disappearance? Is this a horrible omen? The world is fucked? Or is this the greatest opportunity in the world?
It's the biggest opportunity ever. You know, dragons and their hordes. Oh, how many people are gonna rush to the Kingdom of Fire to try to get to that glittering horde
And freeze to death.
Yeah, they're gonna freeze instantly in the hoarfrost. But can you imagine? What would you spend the money on, Janal, if you had all that money? You could buy a nation.
That doesn't sound very fun.
You could buy the dynastic palace with all that money.
Why would I want that?
Why wouldn't you? Well,
I guess if they're giving it away.
What little ambitions you have. You could travel to other parts of the world no one's ever been before.
A heart of gold
Which
and
sounds...
a mind of wood.
A heart of gold, a mind of wood? Hell yeah! Is that a new saying I'm gonna have to adopt?
It's a dwarven saying.
Well, dwarf, what would you do with all that money?
Build a beautiful dwarven bastion. Fill the halls with weapons galore. Write tomes of dwarven history. Innovate. Create. Destroy. Other things.
You know,
Yeah.
I do like the idea of creating a bastion, but then take all the rest of the money and put it in a big pile and sit atop it.
Now you're talking. That sounds like a grand idea.
That is a beautiful idea.
Oh,
But you do that at the bottom of the bastion.
you'd have the best of
Fill it up.
everything.
But with him gone, if Wilhelma couldn't kill him, I don't know what would make him go away.
Is he gone? Is this a major ploy? Did one of his children kill him? And if he's gone, what does that mean for the Empire?
But we
Might
dwarven
be-
gods couldn't strike down that beast. I doubt one of his children could.
You think this is some kind of trick to have everyone think he's gone and they dispel the magic that keeps him there and so he can run rampant?
You don't live that long without being someone smart. I think that's a smart play for him. Kind of explains why that Manicore was out here.
I don't know where he is or what his plan is, but he's not there currently.
Well, you know, every two-buck chuck and sword wielder from here to Lakota's Paradise is itching to head to the Kingdom of Fire. They got to get through the coalition.
What does a feather made of snow mean?
You mean feather made of ice? Or ice that looks
snow.
like feathers. Yeah.
Potato, potato.
That could mean snow, right? Or
Like
frost.
a snowflake.
Snowflake. Or a bit of frost. Can crawl along the ground.
Could mean a lot of things. We'll know when we get to that tributary that I marked on the map. I think that's where we need to go.
On Bahammaron's map, which you guys keep borrowing and doodling on. It's a magical map with an erase feature. It's his most prized possession.
I drew a smiley face.
I should note that you guys do not interact with snow that often. Down here in the South Realms, it is exceptionally warm. Only in certain places, aside from the artificial ones that can conjure snow, it is very rare to see it. You would have to live up in the mountains just to get hints of it. And only for a few months of the year, if only a month of the year. Regardless, you will hop on back into your wagons when Bahammaron signals that it's time to head westward along this fork in the road. And you will get to see all sorts of beautiful country life, humble life for peasants who toil in the fields day in, day out, throwing grain on top of carts or other sorts of agrarian goods. Eventually, you will even hit the river, the road that follows a small path, or the cliffside path. I guess it's not that high in terms of elevation. Maybe like a 10-foot or 15-foot high at most. This several dozen yard stretch of water has far more traffic than this portrait can do justice. Every day, hundreds of small river craft go down or up it if they are enchanted with the same, how should we say this, blessing of the water nymphs of this river. There are strange primordial dealings that have occurred with the humans here to enchant their boats with effectively the blessings of these water nymphs that let them ignore the flow or the tide or the pull of the river. Those barges are often the hardest to get, but even those that are just rowed up and down can be found in their dozens. And as you make it to over here, passing underneath a portcullis gate into a great compound, you will find that you are in a warehouse area with several guards of judges and overseers, Suzerain troops, who stand by doors, watching porters unload their belongings, which could also be loaded up and sent. There are just so many people and economic dealings in this region of the world that it is not a surprise to you all, but a almost overwhelming feeling. Even areas like these feel somewhat urban in terms of population density. Bahammaron goes to search for raids, but in the meantime, while you're at this partially military outpost, what do you guys do?
I'm keeping my head down.
Do they
I know
you're
some of
here?
these guys. Yeah.
You have
Weirdly-
dice anyone?
Weirdly, Pax is also keeping his head down in case he knows any of these guys.
You keep an eye out for assassins. What
Is
about you,
anyone-
Thymond?
Anyone want to play a game of dice?
During working
mean-
hours? Probably not.
We get to sit around and not do much for a while.
Oh, just between you three?
Yeah.
Okay. Joan Allpax, you want to play dice with Thymond?
We play a game of dice?
I'll look around. It's like Bahamron won't be happy if he catches us just fucking playing dice.
Hammeron won't care. What else are we supposed to be doing? We're setting around the merchandise that can't be stolen.
Hmm. I'll pass. Games like that only get me in trouble.
There's nothing for stakes yet. Just for fun.
Oh, then what's the fun if there's no stakes?
It gets you
Oh,
used to the game.
we wish to toss dice. What is the purpose?
We can start 5 gold.
But what? We're tossing dice and see who gets the highest roll? What are we trying to do here?
That's kind of what we're doing, yeah.
As you guys are saying this, a nearby overseer hears what you're talking about. This great portly fellow with a sash of silk that is gold trimmed comes on over, hearing you guys, and it's like, did somebody say dice? Are you guys starting a game?
Trying to, but these two seem to not understand the fun of it.
Oh, they don't know the fun of gambling? Gambling's the greatest fucking pastime of all living creatures. What's
Come on,
the
guys.
betting pool? How much are you guys going? What's the wagers?
I was going to start with a simple game of 5 gold.
5 gold, I'm in.
I mean, I'll play too. That's fine.
You want in?
Jamal?
Hell yeah. The more the
Pax?
merrier.
I'll keep an eye out. No thanks.
Keep an eye out. Haha, is that because you only got one? This
Exactly.
guy's being so overly familiar with you guys right now.
Yeah, I don't trust him, so I'm just gonna watch him.
You watch him. That's fine. Well, let's go. You will watch as he, like, starts moving literal crates for you guys to sit on to create a table. Some of the other caravan hands of your caravan are like, what are they doing? Okay, our guards are currently just making friends with the local economic overseer here. Thymon, you seem the most engaged in this betting pool right now. Jonal, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing that this overseer is talking with you so directly. Maybe you're so small time he doesn't know who you are. But I guess, what are your goals for this? Are we planning to scam this guy out of all of his money, or what?
No, I'm just good at dice.
Just good at dice, okay.
I don't know. Well, I mean, if I'm losing bad, I might try cheating, but
Look, it's just 5 gold a game.
yeah.
True.
After 4 games, that's just 20 gold. That's
That's
nothing.
a month of wages for, like, a peasant laborer, guys.
We're not peasant laborers, okay? We're
True,
winners.
you're not. You're big winners. And we love winning big.
We love gambling.
Alright, do you have a gaming set proficiency?
Oh, I have a dice set proficiency.
Perfect. Jonal, what about you?
Nope.
Okay.
I've got my ways to cheat if I want to, but
Alrighty, then Jonal is just gonna roll a flat d20. Thymond and this guy will be rolling their gaming proficiency, specifically dice set. This will be based off luck. So
It's a lucky stat.
unironically charisma. Yeah.
That's unfair.
Wait,
How is it unfair?
I don't get to add my luck, John?
You can add your base charisma.
Alright, sick.
Well, my base charisma is negative, and will
Get fucked then, I guess.
negatively impact my game.
Apparently, you're only good at dice with other dwarfs. Welcome to the human realm.
Well, it's not strength, it's not constitution. You can't int a dice check. I mean, dice go in a cup, then they come out, and you count and try to get numbers, right?
Yeah, but my silver tongue isn't making my dice roll better.
You're
It's
right.
just random.
So what's the stat equal to luck, right?
There is no stat. You just roll d20 and they get +2 for.
Yeah, can I do
this
a
thing or
d20 plus 2?
But how can I make you have, bad charisma? How can I take advantage of that is my question.
I can't cheat this guy. There's no way I can cheat him and convince him it's legit. Like, I am playing purely by the book, and there's no way I can do anything else.
Let's go. No modifiers. Just proficiency. No attributes, I mean. Oh my god. Is that a nat 1?
Darn right.
Base. Alright, this guy rolled a nat 15. Plus his proficiency, which is 2.
That's so tragic.
Wow.
One
I
below.
think they both just take my money, though.
Oh no, he wins. That's it.
He
Pulled
wins.
down.
This guy is 10 gold richer, as he's like, double or nothing. Let's go for 10.
10?
Yeah, you can win it all right back.
Good.
And Pax recognizes a hustler when he sees it.
Look,
Alright. Listen,
We're gonna
I'm
win
in.
big.
Come on.
we're gonna win big, guys. I'm
Win
only doing
big.
3 games and then I'm done, but I'm with it until that 3rd game.
All right, you ready to roll?
I've never been more ready to roll, John.
All right, Jonal, go for it.
Got a 10.
That's a 17. That's decent.
Oh my god, he loses. You're 20 gold richer, Jonal. Please subtract 10. This guy will hand off the money he won from you two. He's like, all right, double or nothing. We can do it. 20 gold.
Well, I've broken more than even. So
What do you mean? You can't back out now. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
go
can't.
double or
I-
nothing.
I'm
You
ready.
said 3 games. If you back
I'm
out
ready.
now.
I'm gonna, I'm going to do 30 gold, Joe. No,
30
I'm going to
gold?
put 30 gold on this table.
30 gold?
Okay. I'm down. I'm good for it. What about you? He looks-
Absolutely. I'm fucking cheating, John. I'm gonna subtle spell prestidigitation to add an extra pip to the side of my die that comes up.
All right.
I love it.
Collect prestidigitation and let's do subtle spell. Because we've never
I'm not
seen
cheating,
these
I'm just
before.
going for it.
Okay. You're gonna
So
add...
it specifically can add a small mark or symbol to an object. So
What
it's an
do you get
extra
rid
pip
of,
on
the
a die.
verbal or the somatic? Oh, you can do...
Without any verbal or somatic components.
Perfect.
So it
Yep.
gets rid of
It just happens.
It just
It's
happens.
completely subtle.
Very cool.
The subtlest of spells.
All right.
I don't know
still
how much
need-
this actually helps me, but
You gotta roll. You gotta see what
Jonal,
you
I'm
got.
gonna give you advantage on your d20 roll here. Simon, we're staking 30 gold, each from this guy and yourself.
Yeah. I'm going for it.
Are you gonna cheat too, or are you playing honestly?
No.
Base.
Dwarves, we don't need to cheat. We are the best gamblers
Sure.
alive.
Go ahead and roll. Oh my god, he rolled a nat 17. Oh, you rolled a nat 20 though!
Yeah! Dwarves don't need cheats. We're just better gamblers.
Jonal, you fabricate your dice with prestidigitation, and like, then you look at Thymond literally roll 4 6s down the line, which is mathematically incredibly stupid and bullshit, and what the fuck, he just beat... Oh! The Overseer cries out, oh!
That has to be a 1 in a million roll, man!
What is that luck?
That's dwarven luck right there. That's not even luck, that's skill. Years of practice.
Yeah.
But Overseer, I've had a great game with you.
You know, an honest man is crippled in a game of experience against a longer-lived race, but it was a good game. He slapped your arm.
I'm gonna slap his back and grab it.
Oh, yeah. We love honest competitors here in Danabil.
A good game of dice never fails.
Having wiped out not just your gold, but most of his own, he only had a pouch of it, only 50 gold to bet with. Jonal, how much money do you have left?
I have 28 gold.
Can't double or nothing from that.
I can't double or nothing. I don't have the gold for that.
Who else wants in on it? He shouts, resetting the betting pool. And getting more people in on even like actual guards who are supposed to be on duty. It is, after all, before sundown. It's working hours, and he's effectively calling an end of the workday early. Just to, I don't know, engage in his gambling habits.
I'm an honest man. An honest gambler.
He's an honest man. You know, he's in a position of privilege and can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, it's his money.
An overseer for you.
It's true.
No.
I earned this. I earned this gold. That's
How much
60
money did...
more. I started off with 90, and I'm up to, after winning twice, 170.
Jesus.
So, we almost doubled my money.
Yeah, but we 1/3 my money.
Look, we're not looking at the what really happened when everyone was not looking, right? You cheated, you lost. I played fair, and I won. That's
Nice.
4 6s.
That's 4 6s, baby. Pax,
rolled
is there
4
anything
ones.
you're doing during this, like, weird gambling hour as Bahamron is off in the distance trying to talk with, like, a freaking boatman and is just, like, turning to see this group of, like, 40 people next to his wagons? What are you doing?
I give Bahamron a thumbs up, like, don't worry, boss, I got it. He hates being around this many people. He's always uncomfortable in cities and crowds.
Mhm.
So he's like at that 1,000 yards. He's being vigilant. He's doing his job, and he's looking for threats. But he's kind of got like a 1,000-yard stare going on right now.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
My worst thing.
I love activating
Look.
your worst things.
Okay,
That's
hey,
crisp.
16.
That is a crisp roll, okay?
You know, for a nat 20, turning that into a 17, 16's not so bad.
You are really on edge. Actually, you might want to cool down.
You
We're having an
are
honest game
on
over here.
edge, Pax. For UC, with a natural 16, an opportunity. Almost all the guards are looking at the hubbub and hustle. People are still unloading from these warehouses that are guarded by this small defense from the river up this road into the compound itself, which I am now pinging, or rather making a measurement for. At least 10 feet of travel is being currently accommodated here. And you see that during this great distraction, some of the workers are going into the warehouses, supposing to only be depositing stuff, but are leaving with things as well. It appears that a small theft is taking place, Pax. And this might be your opportunity to either get in on the action, or who knows what else.
Part of his whole second chance at life is doing better things, I think. So he takes a rock and he, like a tiny, like a normal sized little tiny rock, and he doinks it off one of the guards' helmets. That's playing dice.
Hey, what the fuck, man?
And he'll just point to the warehouse. He's like, You might want to get back to work. You're gonna be guarding a whole bunch of nothing in a few minutes.
You rat out the thieves immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guards is like, oh, fuck! Just immediately face turning red in anger, grabbing other people, his friend, and start pursuing these guys who are like, oh shit, we gotta get out of here. Not the most subtle way of dealing with crime, but you point out the fact that these people are being stolen from. We'll see if they get away. Or if you've just committed several low-scale thieves to death. I guess I should declare which one is which. We will have... We'll have red be the guards, and blue be the thieves.
I thought you were talking about me. It's like, I can roll.
Sorry. I'm front. It is a close thing, but the thieves get away. I suppose you all watch in some stunned silence as the guards, undoubtedly going to be punished for their lack of due diligence, even though the overseer called them out to participate in this gambling. Takes place. The thieves,
From the
stealing
highest highs to the lowest
small
lows.
bolts of silk, will jump onto their rowboat and just, see you later, losers, as the guards, like, hurl spears and javelins like, you sons of bitches. Pax. We don't have a reputation system for respecting the law, but I feel like we should. Go ahead and take a point of reliability immediately.
Okay.
After all, reliability only matters to people who hire you and or government officials now, I guess, or authority figures.
I'm at 1 reliability.
Based.
Welcome to Team Reliable. You get the job done. Back, you want to join in?
No, cards is more my game.
Nah. Could never understand cards.
It's a man's game.
It's a man's game. Towards the end of the day, I want someone to roll this. We're gonna see if Bahamron is going to take us by boat or over road, which will change my random encounters. Unless either of you have a preference. Anyone want to go boating? Or are we hoofing it all the way up?
So, Simon has a fear of water
Oh shit.
that is deeper than him,
That's
as
fair.
he can't really swim. He
To be
Because
is,
fair,
your
most
soul
people
is so deep.
My
so
new friend is stricken with the accursed T-pose virus. Otherwise, he would say that the river would probably be best because you go unerringly in a straight line.
You think June would be for the river?
From what little I know of him, from what little we've talked, it seems like something he would say. One must walk the straight, unerring path. You know, June.
Roads do wind, but rivers bend as well. So the real question is, how often can you go in a straight line in a boat or a cart?
on the back of a dragon.
Well, that is a good point, because in a cart, he could just hop off the wagon, and he's like, I will meet you when our unerring lines reconvene.
Real question is, which one is an error?
What?
An error?
In error. The unerring line does not err.
I think it's more about just going in straight lines. Like, have you seen him walk down the street? He will wait for people to go around him.
I think you made that word up.
Ah. He makes a lot of things up, these whole precepts. Anyways, I prefer land travel myself.
Nothing's more reliable than the good old Earth.
I trust our good friend Baja Man to make the correct selection.
Baja Man takes into account water fees as well as the profits of what he currently has. And we'll say, we go by road. These guys are price gouging us.
They have to make up for their recent loss.
Yeah. And knowing where you guys are going, we are going to take a small break here because my eyes are killing me. We'll be right back, everyone.
With the eye cream.
Hello, we are back, Internet. Continuing our tale as we head northbound on the following day. John needs to do some calculations.
Okay.
Quickly, buy time for me.
As I was saying, cards are a gentleman's game, and dice are too random and too easily tricked and loaded.
It's not an honest man's game. Dice, easy, straight to the point. It's a dwarven game. Beautiful.
Well, the way you describe it as a simpleton's game. It's easy, straightforward.
We're not trying to have a long and going and boring task. This is our free time. We want to do something nice, quick, easy. We need to have fun with each other. And it's a game you can drink to, and not get worse at it.
You could drink with cards.
And get better at it.
No, not quite.
You can't drink and get worse at dice.
You could still get cheated.
Ah! You just don't cheat. That's it. I don't cheat. I win all the time. Jonah doesn't cheat. He just needs to get a little better at it. But the odds of losing 3 games in a row, ooh, not good.
Honestly, Jean, maybe you should learn how to cheat.
Yeah, let's increase their odds a little more.
I would never. I'm a good and honest citizen of these lands.
Aye, that's the Dwarven way. Good old game of dice. Also, everyone plays dice. No one plays cards. You need to go to like an upstanding place. You can't just go to...
You even have cards?
Of course I have cards. Like I said, it's a man's game.
Show me this deck.
I'm pretty sure you just keep making up more and more rules until you won if I played with you.
Oh, if you played with me, yes, that would be the case. But sure. And he'll look around, then pull out a deck of cards and do a fancy shuffle. Lay them out. Doesn't let anyone else hold them, but he kind of shows them off. Puts them back in their box. Puts it back in his bag.
One pair of dice. Now this is a true game. No cheats or whimsical surprises with rules. You just throw them and watch them roll.
Somebody roll me a 1d100 for fun.
The non-gambler should do it.
Nah,
52.
I'm already there.
Let's say, yeah, that's fair.
On a 4. So, it is going to be 6 days travel from Dan Ibble all the way to the excuse me, eastern side of Marl Ibble. Along this road, it is light vegetation due to the river. However, it is sparsely populated, and the barren/desert winds effectively takes a chunk out of the greenery here. Dust storms are not common this type of year, and alas, you are all beset by one, increasing travel time by a single day. Luckily, this caravan is heavily provisioned due to Bahamaron's great experience at being a caravaner. Had you all taken this travel without him, chances are you would have been stranded and exhausted throughout the days needed to get to Marl Ibble. Not fun, but, you know, let's just take a moment to thank Baha for his grace and kindness and employment that he gives you. Which
Praise
effectively is...
Baja.
We love Baja. Bahamaron.
Baja, I need you to blast this man.
You got it, boss. He busts out an actual shotgun. Just a Mossberg unloads. 6 days of traveling is ass, guys. Your butts on wooden, unpadded seats quickly get sore. Those of you who take a break to walk find that the gravel and cement paths of the villages are far, far better than the dirt road that the highway quickly turns into. You pass very little traffic heading southbound currently on your road. However, in the spots where you can follow the river, you can still see the sailing barges and river boats heading up or down the Ateru River. It's not fun. Luckily, you are not beset upon by the gnolls in the area, or the sandworms, or the imps, or, dust devils, as they're known.
Yeah. I mean, we walked without rhythm, so how are the sandworms gonna find us?
Exactly. Shahalud! We feared Shahalud. I'd ask what travel is like for you all, but I think it is somewhat quiet and grim. Unless I'm told otherwise right now.
I mean, I think Jonal has an unerringly positive attitude and will be talking, and, this is what the bards call the dusty, winding road. Huh? Eh? It's beautiful in its own way.
Just a beacon of positivity.
It sucks, but it's better than being in the city. You sleep better out here. But this damn dust is getting in my eye.
Have you considered moving the eye patch over to the other side to protect it?
No, I meant it's getting underneath sometimes and itching. I still have a lid over here. This one does fine.
I'm just going to be completely silent listening to these two while slowly recarving another manticore needle.
Yeah. Give me another carver's tools.
Of course.
God.
Look, I can't fail 12 times in a row.
Oh, you fail 2 more times, we'll say. Over the course of a week, getting so close to being done. It's almost art, you say to yourself. I could sell these to a merchant for more money. And then it shatters. Maybe it's best to leave these for the experts, Diamond.
I am the expert.
You tell yourself. You are the expert. Anyone else, this would be taboo. Making manticore jewelry out of its most brittle, fragmentary bone. Hell yeah.
Have you considered gently warming them up?
No.
You can
I will try that.
the... Eventually, you will all make it to the eastern side of Marl Ibel. This is a lightly I don't have the map for this place, guys. I'm so sorry. You'll have to.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
This place is a... how should we say this? Clearly Western heavy and invested in. There is far fewer farms and homes that are on the eastern side of the Ur-Ateru River from here. You see that there is a ferry system rather than a bridge on a shallow port that allows people to cross when they need to. However, most business takes place on the west, which Bahamaran does not care for. This is a stopover for him. And there is enough supplies on the eastern side to get what he wants. Is there anything you all wish to do, purchase, pursue here while he goes about his mercantile business?
Is this city a major, like, land travel hub? It almost looks like that with the roads, but I have to zoom out and check.
It is. So, those of the... How should I say this? Akmori, which is the greatest port of the Buyid Empire, often takes this road north to Marl Ibel, and then either through the Valley of Thorns or just boats, more likely northbound. Marl is effectively the not last stop. Well, I guess it could be considered the last stop for most mercantile river transport. So all these villages up here will send their goods down to Marl, and then they will physically transport them to the city of Akmari. That, or they have to go through the fucking river delta, which is a nightmare, and follow up the coast, which is also kind of sketchy when pirates exist. Like, this stretch of road that I am currently highlighting is likely the most safe out of all highways here.
Got it.
So it seems like there'd be a lot of, like, merchant goods and potentially, like, fancy foreign things flowing through here. I think Jonal would for sure look for something cool to buy.
Okay. We're gonna say you guys will take a day off once you get here and do Marl shopping between the 23rd and the 24th. Effectively, you're spending 2 nights here before setting out. Just a single day. You get here midday. It doesn't matter. Fuck. You guys don't care about my calendar. Anybody else wish to go shopping?
Nothing major. Pax will, like, try to pick up he'll go to a couple different Fletchers or people who sell arrows and look for arrows to his taste, and just pick up an extra quiver for the road.
Okay.
And then he'll look for wanted posters to see if he's on any of them.
Roll me for wanted posters. Roll me a d20 real quick. Let's see who's up for bounty. I'm on the wrong Word document. That is my Xbox Live. We don't care about you.
13.
No momento. I can do some post. Go away. Fuck. My eyeball hurts so badly. I just got flashbanged by Xbox Live. Hit the wrong button.
Time to
For
put
those of
on
you
your.
watching at home or listening, John has really bad eye strain and is powering through this session, even though he's actively crying.
If we need to, we can call it earlier than normal.
We likely will here in 30 minutes. If we roll a combat on the road, we're stopping. But we have easy stuff that we can do. You rolled a 13. As John
Yes, sir.
continues to weep. Give me 1 second.
Hey, John, knock knock.
Who's there?
Boo. Oh, don't cry, it's just me.
On a 13. Gentlemen, we have bugbears in the area. Assumedly, you will only look up news on the route you guys are planning to go, which is this one, this purple line here, all the way up to Cresno, or Crenzo, excuse me. On the eastern side, there is a bounty. Somewhere on this highway, on the southern half of the highway even, there doth be bugbears somewhere. Their chieftain's head, a creature by the name of... what shall we call this guy?
Youth offspring.
I'm sorry? You want to name him?
Sure.
What's the name?
Deuce offspring.
Hoffbring. I'll make it red. Alright. No, we need to up that.
How do you spell that, Red?
I got it.
PH
Got it.
apostrophe.
No, it's all one word.
Well, yeah, no, there's no spaces, but there is apostrophes. They love apostrophes.
No, we're changing it.
Oh, it's just D.
It is Hothbring, which is what I heard, who is a bugbear warg rider of Sarl the Insatiable's defected goblinoids.
Ooh.
After all, monsters are not a truly united form, and some goblinoids who have the power to resist do so. They have recently become emboldened by the fact that monsters aren't trying to incorporate them into anti-human settlements, which ironically enough makes them more agitated towards humans, specifically of the Buayid dynasty. His band of goblinoid brigands apparently exists out here.
What's the bounty amount?
It is summer. They've done 3 attacks on merchants. It is for his head, which is denoted by a large metal grafting on his forehead that has been hammered in with a strange goblin sign. His head is worth 150 gold pieces, plus a general bounty of 5 gold per extra bugbear ear, or warg ear, which are effectively the same thing, since wargs are mutant bugbears. So I will post that for Hothbring.
That's a good bounty.
Plus 5 GP per bugbear slash warg here. Right here. Where we go.
It's good to know. Keep our eyes out.
Could be something we just pursue in general. Seems like it's in the general direction we're going.
These bounties can be paid between the cities that are currently affected by it. The Suzerains, who oversee bounty postings and most military matters, usually communicate with each other quite well, especially for local matters. That way, if someone's coming down here and they get hit and kill it, they can turn into Marl, and vice versa.
Got it. Okay, that's it. Just pick up a pack of quivers and or a quiver of arrows and pick up some news, and that's definitely some news.
Indeed. There is
Do you
more
think we should
news
try
to be
to-
gotten by players if they wish to linger. I don't know how much a quiver of arrows is, but it will be market price probably. Looks like 1 gold per 20.
Got it. I'll mark it.
Jonal, you said you had things you wanted to do. Mercantile.
Yeah, I
bullshit?
mean, I'm mostly just looking for trinkets and baubles, like maybe like a bracelet or like a comb to put in my hair or
Oh.
something of that nature. Some sort of fancy bauble that I can buy that seems to me, foreign and exciting.
Okay. What's your budget here? You said 28?
I have 28 gold remaining. Yes.
As you spend a day in here, go ahead and subtract 3 for me. Just as you lose money, which I believe
Okay.
you do as a non-greedy person.
For sure.
Just buying extra food or paying off 1 gold to beggars where you can. Maybe even breaking it down to silver as well. But you will find a not stall, but one of those people who like set out rugs in the middle of market areas or in the are they just called peddlers? I think they're just peddlers.
Just peddlers, yeah.
Who are peddling jewelry. And you will find that amongst this group, specifically for nice combs and what many would consider more wife trinkets, or literally like someone is going to get a gift for their wife, you will find a nice comb made out of bismuth, a strange metal that has some nice carved geometric shapes. This bismuth comb is from the... He calls it the Sword Empire, which is a strange name for you, having never heard of such a place.
Sword Empire?
Yes, far to the west.
But this is a comb, not a sword, right? I'm not going to be impaling my skull.
What is a comb if not 10 to 20 small swords attached to one handle?
Aha, you are quite wise, sir. In your
Only
ways.
20 gold pieces, this is yours, made out of expensive bismuth.
Well, if I give you the 20 gold, then it will be none of your bismuth.
Oh, as you say, good sir.
And I'll hand over 20 gold for this bismuth comb.
You do so. Do you tip the peddler? As though this is America.
You're down to like 2 gold.
It's up to you. I'm not gonna force you to tip the peddler. He'll give you a small story if you tip him about this sword empire.
Yeah, screw it. We'll give him a 2 gold tip.
He tells you a 2
10%
gold tip worth of stories about this sword empire. Yes, all their nobles seem to be invested with sword magic. They're either the most experienced fighters in the world, warriors of great skill. Sometimes they actually just conjure swords out of midair. It's a very martial society, and they fucking hate dragons, apparently. They're crazy cool, though, you know. They call their princes and princesses and nobility like sword princes and blade princesses. It's crazy.
Wow, that's wild. I'd love to visit there someday.
Oh, I hope you do. I've only seen their lands once, where I got this fine comb. And he'll upsell the story of where he found this comb. To like, a passing merchant, blah, 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 blah.
It's once owned by a princess.
Yes. You can tell it's got a little sword icon in the fucking blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're done with the comb. He's added to your sheet. It's worth like 10 silver, but we don't need to worry about that. Mr. Huthguk. Diamond.
Yeah.
What are you doing during your day of downtime here?
I'd first want to ask Pax, like, do you think we should, like, actually purposely head towards this bounty and try to collect on it, so that by the time we get to, like, the next city, we have a bounty to get?
Well, it took us 6 days to get from Danable to here. We're looking at a lot of travel ahead of us, so let's not borrow extra worry. Be vigilant, and
We can buy
If we
a salt
find-
box.
if we find tracks, I think we might pursue. To see any part of the goblinoids in this area is a little concerning, but I
Just
guess that's what
for-
happens.
Temporal sake, it is
Mhm.
roughly a 20-day travel time between Marl to Krenzo in terms of road.
But this goblinoid could have some information on the riddle. It's unlikely, but it's
Also,
possible.
I hear that these bugbears have very long arms. I'd love to see one in person.
No,
Yeah,
no, you
arms.
don't.
Yeah.
They're
Look,
very-
it's 2-1 right now.
a
I
tough
can buy us
opponent.
a salt box. We can store the bounty in there, so it doesn't rot as bad.
Sure, Huthguk, I've in our small time, I've learned I can't talk you out of anything. So get your salt box, and if we run into goblinoids or goblinoid tracks, I'll be there with you.
You won't have to
probably,
smell the rotting skull if I have a salt box.
that's what I said. I can't stop you from doing it, and it's a smart idea. So let's do that.
Yeah. And also, I've never seen a warrior on an outlips.
I will be there to bail both of y'all out of whatever trouble we borrow.
Splendid. I'll go to the market right now and buy it. Yeah. So, Thymond is gonna search for 3 items. 1 a salt box. 2 some caltrops because you heard that the guy rides a warg. And
Yeah.
he has an idea that if I throw some caltrop in front of me and he rides at me, he's gonna be able to, like, cause the warg
Leap
to fall over in
the
pain.
caltrops quite easily.
Yeah. And then when the guy's on the ground, defenseless, I just stab him a bunch.
That is exactly how a dwarf would think.
Bring him down to my height. And then the last item is I'm gonna look for some nice looking paint.
What was that?
Paint.
Paint. What kind of paint?
So when I finish one of these spears, the idea is I'm going to very delicately paint the inside of it so that it causes the carvings I put into it to pop out a bit more, so that it's worth a little more.
I see.
So cheap paint that makes it just cost a little more. Looks nice. Catches the eye.
I getcha. Colors are indeed a thing that everyone is interested in. What are the noble colors that are outlawed?
Purple?
No, you can't even find purple paint.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I think that's outlawed.
I think white is the most common paint of probably the world, in all honesty. Purple's off the table just because the pigmentation is hard to get.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. They use it on boats and everything else.
Yeah. Probably like white and black are your easiest colors to get.
Yeah, if I can,
You can
I'll
spend
shoot
like
for like
5 silver to get a can. Like,
yeah, I'll just get some white. It'll help make the brown spikes pop out a bit more.
Okay. Sounds good.
And how much did it cost again?
5 silver.
5
for
silver.
Like a metal can of it.
Half a gold. Not bad.
It's sizable too. Like, this isn't a small amount of paint. You have, after all, 24 fucking barbs that you found, or however many there are.
I have 9 left.
Alright. Still, these things are javelin-sized barbs. So, getting a big can of it is not, like, the worst.
No, it's not a bad investment. Plus, in a defensive mode, I can splash it in someone's face.
The salt box to store a bugbear's head is probably going to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
We're going to say it's 10 gold, because
Not a bad
effectively you
investment.
want a wooden box that you dump fucking a bunch of salt into to keep the head dry.
Yeah, not a
most
bad
salt is not purchased in such amounts.
I do want the rest of the party to know that I will get my investment back once we kill the bugbear, because I'm investing in the bugbear to make sure that the bounty is recognizable
Of course.
as a
Makes sense.
responsible.
I would have gone to one of the ships and tried to buy one of their salt barrels, but that works.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be
barrels are
even more,
clunky.
man. Barrels are super
It's
expensive.
way bigger.
Good point.
Okay. And then what was the middle one you wanted?
Caltrops.
Caltrops. Or
Honestly,
am I willing to sell a player Caltrops, Corin?
I don't know. Are you?
Not usually, no. In my other world, it's banned by the Geneva Convention. I don't like dealing with the micromanaging of caltrops and then recovering them.
Oh, I wouldn't care about them after this one use.
I know.
You can just simply one use caltrops, like the moment they're on the ground, they kind of just stick there. They're useless. I'll leave them in the woods. Years go by, someone runs over it, breaks their foot.
Yeah. On
Starts
the
their
road.
villain origin story.
Yeah. Johnny One Foot swore revenge on the person who put caltrops in the middle of a forest and didn't care enough
You
to
can
buy
buy
it
a
back.
bag of caltrops. It's a one-use thing. For 1
Yeah,
gold.
it's just for a ward.
Uh-huh.
I just want to watch a guy fall over.
Understood.
And they were how much again, sorry?
1 for a bag.
1 gold?
Yep. That's
Splendid.
book price, baby.
Look, man, I'm up. I'm so far not even touching my Manticore profits with this.
Yeah, you
I haven't even
said
dipped.
Jonal's.
Hey, man. That money
I
would
may
have went
need a
to,
loan soon. I'm just saying.
Look, I love giving money. If you need a loan, just as long as you pay it back, we're good.
I'll never borrow money from a dwarf.
True.
We'll outlive you, and your next generation will have to pay for it.
With interest.
Lots of interest per generation.
Let's do a random city encounter real quick. I will roll the 1d1. Actually, no. Someone else roll me a 1d100 real quick. Something
Hey.
cool might happen in this city while you're here.
Yes, who wants to do it? Me?
Not me.
Someone else?
Go ahead, Red.
Okay. Now, guys, we're shooting for a 1. Ooh,
It's pretty close.
I got close.
You did get close.
We didn't quite get to the 1.
Oh! This is interesting. While you guys are traveling in the Merchant Row, you will hear tale that in a local inn/tavern outside, a oracle, quote-unquote, has set up their tent. You all have heard tale of these wise women most of the time, who show up and give prophecies to, let's call them varying degrees of accuracy, as well as offer advice to people. I'm not sure if you all care for such things, but yeah, she is on the table.
Pax is extremely interested.
Are you like, come follow me party, or is this a I'm going to dip away now, have fun, losers?
It depends on the rest of the plans for that like merchant trip. He would try to sneak away, but he's not gonna like force them to. He's not gonna sneak away well.
You already have gone from Bahamron. He needs not to police you all.
Got it.
Like, once you're inside of a city, he honestly expects you all to fuck off.
Yeah. Pax hears this, and then he doesn't say where he's going. He's just like, catch you later, and leaves in that direction.
I think Jonal just follows you. Where are you going?
I mean,
he's just eating.
an oracle shows up.
You think she knows anything about our,
Oh,
our
I hadn't
flight?
even thought about that. I was just gonna have her read my fortunes, see how my luck will be. But yeah, maybe that's a good question. Come on, Janal. Oh, and he'll raise his voice a little bit. Simon, we're gonna go see the oracle.
I'm going to tag along, not because I think oracles are real, but because I don't want you two getting scammed out of even more money.
Oracles are very real.
No,
Depends on the oracle.
a dwarf's future set in stone, and everything actions like a fine chisel.
Whether you believe the words that they say is another
Honey
thing. But
dwarves,
they
unfettered.
exist. They're right. I mean, you can touch them with your hand. I've done it before.
I've never met a real oracle. Those are just people in goat's clothing, pretending to be sheep.
Let's prove you wrong, Simon. Come along.
Yeah, you guys
prove
make
you're
your
right.
way on over. You know, part of it is showy. After all, it's like a one-man act has just strolled into town, set up a fancy little tent, and then is basically inviting whoever wants to come up, spend an amount of gold or silver or even copper to get a opinion from a stranger, right? Some of these acts are complete fabrications and entertainment. However, it's always I mean, you guys live in a world of magic. There's like a non-zero chance that this is a hag in disguise that everyone knows they are taking a chance on. And usually, the oracles with larger crowds are more of the showmanship bard category of like, oh, I'm gonna make a thing of this and try to entertain for my living wages. And then there's the category of like the worst performers in the world, and those places are usually, you know, not great to entertain in, and honestly kind of ominous. And then there are the, I don't know where the fuck this lady is, and I'm actively searching for them, and then they suddenly appear, mysterious music cue plays, and you slowly enter the tent, as it were. So I'm gonna find out which kind of oracle this is real quick. Are you guys excited?
Pretty excited.
Yes,
Let's see it.
ecstatic.
Or, Pax, do you want to roll the d6 to determine which one this is?
Of course.
Please.
1d6.
Please be a 1. A 5.
It's a 5.
That's the opposite of bad oracle. Do I want to do a voice for this? I'm already losing my eyes. Do I want to lose my voice as well? Here, let's take a small break real quick, and then we'll do this. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, we are back, everybody. Red said the funniest thing that nobody laughed at. Red, feel ashamed of yourself.
I giggled, and I'm someone.
All travel through Marl Ibble and find a tent next to a rather large, well-equipped, luxurious inn for traveling nobles. This is strange out the gate, fellas. In such an establishment, right, like having a traveling soothsayer show up, who is effectively a hobo, and just start peddling to your high-class clientele, not the best look for a business. Chances are they would have run this person off if there wasn't some sort of connection or protection that they have, or just outright permission to set up here. So, good sign or bad sign. I'm not sure which. You will all see. You see it is not too busy. In fact, most of the clients are being screened and actively patted down for those who do arrive by what appears to be a guard who is quite thuggish in nature. Short of hair. He even has a face tattoo that signals how scary he truly is. Armed with a club, as well as a, appears to be hand crossbow. Immediately, Pax, you're like, this motherfucker has a hand crossbow? What in the goddamn? That thing's worth 75 gold. New. Maybe it's a hand-me-down, maybe it's a lower condition, but still. Hand crossbows are complicated things to make, for some reason. Or maybe they're expensive because of how concealable they are. I'm not sure. Either way, this guy's toting arms. Kind of scary looking dude. You also see the signs and the rates out. The rates are incredibly cheap and affordable, depending on the subjects in which someone is coming for advice from the soothsayer. In terms of love and romantic guidance, we'll call it, or prophecies, it's only in the coppers, guys. Holy shit. 10 copper, you can get the advice of a soothsayer for all of your womanly and or manly needs. Incredible. Fucking crazy. What in the fuck? However, in terms of more generalist, we'll call it advisement, for lack of a better word, we're in the silvers now. 5 silver per prophecy. This is, you know, generalist well-living. Like, how can I get aid to my poor bones? You mean medical stuff. Honestly, whatever. Then, we've got the gold rate. This is strange, you think to yourselves. As you see that there is fortune, where this person will tell you your economic opportunities, as well as good old financial readings here. You see palm readings underneath this, so it goes like more increased up, and then it's just a sheer drop in terms of price. For 1 copper you can get your palm read. Which is so weird. And then question mark is at 100 gold.
Thankfully, none of us have 100 gold to spend.
One of us does.
I don't know what you're on about.
You know that this person will know something of our destiny.
Yeah, but I need 100 gold to do that, you know.
Oh, how much? Oh, that would just be
You know I have this pearl worth 100 gold.
Yeah, you do.
But no, your question, Janal, is just a general prophecy, is it not?
You think our
Oh, I see what you
our
mean.
destiny is in the general prophecy category? You think so lightly of us. You're meant for so much more.
You know, if you can come up with 100 gold, you can spend it on whatever you want.
Pax is going to be up front with his party and said he's had disturbing dreams, and that's why he wanted to come see the Oracle.
Have you tried chamomile?
Nah, she wasn't working when I went by.
Perhaps yours falls more clearly in this general prophecy category, and you can tell us of your experience. We can figure out.
Sure.
Oracles already speak in riddles. They can solve one.
Well, here, I'll be right back. Let me see if they're a scam or not.
You need me to hold on to any of your weapons or anything before you go in?
No, I trust him with my bow. It's fine.
You walk up to this guy. You can see that this is a 2-man team up in the front. Effectively, the guy out front secures your weapons, pats you down, gives you the rundown, no touching. Most of the time. Then there's a guy who processes your money and watches the wealth come in, as it were, who you will pay What did I just say? 5 silver too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hand him 5 silver coin. Go ahead and subtract that.
On it.
If you need to break a gold, they can break a gold, which is another weird thing. Like, how much money are these fuckers making?
Yeah, they gotta break a gold for me.
They'll break a gold. And then you will enter the tent's central area. Immediately, you are struck by a screen of incense. It is incredibly low light, but with your... I think you have superior dark vision, yeah?
I have magical dark vision.
Your eyes quickly adjust to this sudden dampening and dimness. You are alone, currently in a room, and as you find a seat to quietly sit on, you will see that the table before you, the small wooden table for 2, has a draped crystal ball. You haven't looked at it yet, or the drape's still upon it, but you see the orb-like outline protrusion coming off the surface of this wooden table. This place is nice. It smells nice. It's clean. There's somebody backing this person, is your immediate thought. Or it doesn't make sense how a person, a traveler, could set this whole gig up. After 20 seconds of you being awkward in a room, the performative entrance will come as beads and other sorts of knickknacks adorning this masked and veiled person will come in. A woman speaks behind a veil as the candles purposely and performatively spark and alight. You are briefly blinded as your magical dark vision competes for the sudden luminosity. The drape is gone before you, the crystal ball creating a strange disco effect all around this darkened fabric. You're surrounded in velvets, reds, and oh my god. This lady's wearing purple silken clothing. God damn. She's fucking rich, Pax. There's no way this person, unless it's like some weird knockoff color scheme, this person is fucking wealthy. They're loaded. And she stares at you. Hello.
Greetings, milady.
I greet you. What is your name?
My name is Pax Posadio.
Nice to meet you, Pax Posadio. You may call me Lady Marigold. And I am here to give you advice. But I know not of what. Please, help me specify for the spirits in this room.
I went through a bloody combat, and ever since, I've had these disturbing dreams.
Have you tried chamomile?
I did, she wasn't in.
Oh, she's so lovely. What kind of dreams, Pax Posadio?
I have a dream that is all in black and white. And I'm by myself above a grave. And a voice talks to me.
What does the voice say?
Sometimes I remember, and sometimes I don't. I belong there. I need a return. I need to pay my debts. Those are some of the ones I remember.
And what do you feel in this dream?
sometimes it not all dreams are the same, but the most recent one, sometimes the voice is helpful, teaches me things. Sometimes I'm at peace. Sometimes it's like floating in a bath. And the other times my heart feels like it's going to race out of my chest. Like on edge.
Would you say you are afraid during these moments?
Yeah, typically.
I see. Peace on one hand, fear in the other. I'm sure you have heard the saying that all men are born with a foot in the grave. Let me consult with the spirits here. And you will watch as she waggles her fingers, mutters something incoherently that is not of any language, and rolls it. You know, it's a pretty convincing performance. You're unsure if actual magic is afoot here, Pax, but you can give me an insight check or an arcana check if you'd like to see if there is some chicanery going on.
I'm going to see which one I'm worst at. Hold on. I have a negative 3 to insight, and it's a flat roll to arcana. So, insight it is. That is a 7.
This lady must be some sort of magician, Pax. For you watch as the candles flare once more, as the light catches the disco lights surrounding you, focus, widen, get thinner, more numerous, until it is almost as though you are surrounded in a field of stars. The fabrics darkened slightly as the light gets thinner and thinner and thinner, until it is just the candle light, the drape returning to the crystal ball. Your heart skips a beat as she suddenly speaks. Pax Posidio. The spirits have advice for you. But I am not sure if it is what you wish to hear.
Please, anything. I'm desperate.
Their advice they wish for me to convey as their conduit is that you must dig yourself a grave, recreate the dream as close as you can, and then stay there until you dream once more. If, after you complete this task, you do not feel comforted by what you see in the night, then you must seek clerical help. For if this is not a simple man's mortality catching up to him, you are cursed.
I see.
Fortunately, I do not know how to break curses. She states.
Thank you so much.
I am legally required to tell you I cannot break your curse if you are cursed.
Understood. I have a friend who also has a query for you.
Then he must come inside.
Yes, I will depart with your advice. Thank you so much, Lady Marigold.
You are very welcome, Pax Posidio.
And he'll shakily go out to his friends.
You do so. They give you your wand
Aw.
back.
Oh, she's legit.
Of course. I'm guessing she also has told you all about the unicorns?
No, she didn't tell me of any unicorns. But no, I think Janal, she could definitely help with the riddle. I guess that would be 100 gold. Let's say you,
It's definitely
Janal.
not love, and it's definitely not general advice, and it's definitely not a palm reading.
Listen, I have 3 gold I can put towards the cause. I have a feeling that we may be needing this pearl.
No.
Time to come. So
I will pony up the money. And I'll get it back somehow, some way. Maybe through that bounty. Thyman is gung ho about. But here, and I take my coin purse and I take out 8 gold and 5 silver, and I hand him the rest.
For a total of 100?
For a total of 100.
I'm going to be honest with you, Pax and Jonal. I was not going to give you a cent of my gold. You were going to ask me for it. In view of my dead dwarven body, but I give it to a spiritual person. So I hope you do get your
I'm
money's
pretty
worth
sure
out of
this person is blood and flesh, not a spirit. Maybe you know different, but...
Jonal, you beautiful, beautiful man. You have a heart of gold, but a mind of wood.
That's why we can't get this riddle on our own.
Lady Marigold seems completely legit, Thyman, and I'm willing to bet on it, which is what I intend to do. Good luck,
Or a game
Janal.
of dice?
Just a 10.
You could say that.
Just fucking beat his ass. Just outside the 10. Prize fighting. Let's go. Jonal, you are 100 gold richer, but I suppose you only Pax needs to subtract it. You don't need to add it.
I just run off with 100 gold.
Never see again.
Jonal, do you enter the tent?
Yeah, I'm gonna approach the tent. I'll hand off my backpack and my dagger to my dwarven friend who probably has gotten sick of carrying around my backpack all the time.
I thought you didn't have dwarven friends.
You know,
I'll take it.
6 days further on.
All right. You head inside. You are patted down, and do you have an arcane focus?
I was figuring I was handing that off before coming in anyway.
You just hand off everything then.
Yeah. I'm not intending to come with anything dangerous. Just my clothes, myself.
Your money.
His magic.
My money, my big sack of coins.
And as the gold is counted, and it's like, oh my god, he's actually paying for 100 gold. The servant who will stash your money will quickly ask you to wait. And after maybe a minute of conversation, you will be beckoned inside by the servant, much to the same environment that comes forward, or that I've already gone over. However, the candles are far brighter now that you have entered. You take a seat. A minute goes by. 2 minutes go by. And a woman will arrive, clad in purple silks, wearing much more jewelry, and having a pearl in a circlet. A pearl that you not recognize, for it is of different shape and size, but at least worth 100 GP, attached to her forehead. She will sit. She will stare at you. What is your name?
I am Jonal the Gregarious.
I see.
I have
This person
heard
speaks incredibly softly.
of your voice's beauty and wisdom, and I seek your insight.
You shall have it. You may call me Lady Marigold.
I thank you, Lady Marigold, for your assistance. I have been touched by a piece of magic, a fragment wishing to be reunited with its whole. And I will snap my fingers and use a sorcery point to just have a floating version of the stone appear above my fingers without saying a word.
She will look at this minor illusion, I suppose.
Yep. Actually, I think it's prestidigitation.
Tell me your passive perception real fast.
Passive perception. 13.
On a 13, you will notice that as you snapped your fingers and the magic goes off, there was like a very serious and sudden shift underneath the table on her side. But as she takes a moment to investigate this illusion that you have created, she will speak with some recognition. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but you can tell. But there is an understanding that you have come here for serious magical advice.
Its creator spoke to me, giving me a hint, a tiny droplet to lead me to bring these together to complete what has been shattered.
Do you have this on you?
Do I have what on me?
That you have made an illusion of.
It is not on me.
I see.
But I can tell you of this hint that was laid for me.
Please do.
And I will recite once again the riddle left in the identify spell. You want me to recite it again or just
Nope,
skip over it?
As you do so, reciting the riddle, the person will dwell and think for quite some time. Mr. Jonal.
You can just call me Jonal.
Jonal. I will be direct with you. What you have described is of great worth. So much so that I fear I should not give you advice, for it will endanger you, your friends, your family, even, if you have any. She cries into her shirt like John does in real life.
Oh, John.
I suffer for the performance. If you wish to dedicate my help to your cause, I would ask you go and retrieve this gemstone so that I may truly investigate it. If you do not wish to do that, we shall refund you your money. That is how great of a task you have presented before me.
Donal pauses for a moment, thinking this item is beyond the worth of, in his estimation, basically everything he has ever owned, right?
For sure.
And giving it to the hands of another person is inherently a huge risk.
Massive.
So he's going to take a moment here and take in and try. I mean, they've got the setup to conceal as much of this person as possible, but trying to get any kind of feel he can about the genuine nature of her offer.
Yeah, give me an insight check. She's being incredibly direct with you. Well, I can't retroactively grade advantage. It's effectively a coin flip, right? She's being direct with you. She's offering you a refund, which most scammers don't do ever. She's offering you a way out of never come and see me. This is entirely your choice. But she is demanding, effectively, like, I can't get a good enough read on this without interacting with what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think Jonal's a risk taker. And he'll turn back to her. Give me a moment and I shall return.
As you say. You walk
And
on out. You're not stopped by anyone.
I'm gonna go back to the dwarf with my bag, or the human with my bag. Whoever's got my bag, it's hanging out there between them.
Some hobo you found on the streets, like, here you go.
And I will carefully slip this gem from my backpack into my belt pouch.
You do so.
And I will go to return.
Unless Pax or Thymond, who obviously see what you're doing, tells you otherwise.
Look, if he wants to get scammed, that's on him.
Understood. Jonal returns.
This is a learning experience.
They're patted down again because, I mean, you literally walked away. You could have just stored a knife.
Sure. The thing I slipped into my belt pouch could have been a knife, yeah.
Yeah, so you're patted down again for security measures. But upon no weapons being identified, you are shown back in. Marigold hasn't moved. She has stayed where she is. In a well-lit room. the scrying orb having been revealed, I suppose. The drape now gone, you see that this crystal orb is of significant arcane worth to Pax, who is a warlock and not... His magic's borrowed, right? But yours is innate, and you get the immediate sensation, like, that thing's fucking expensive. That crystal orb might be worth a legitimate 1,000 gold pieces. That's not glass, that is crystal.
These are fine objects that you work with. I trust your wisdom and discretion as I pull out the crystal and hand it to her.
It will float from your fingertips, still cold, even after over a week of traveling. The monster blood inside having fragmented, having created a crystal format. She will inspect it. And over, I believe 11 minutes will be needed for her to cast the Identify spell, which she will ritually cast. You feel the gathering magic in the air. You're dealing with a legit spellcaster here, Jonal. And there is a presence that is felt. One, but it's almost as if the wind or the air around you is getting heavier. After she completes this ritual, the presence lightens slightly, and she will comprehend the riddle, now hearing it in her head as you did. Recognizing that this is a spell code, much the same way you did through the Identify spell, she will slowly hand it off to you, so that it may hover above your fingertips once more. My worries are confirmed, Jonal. There are many a wizard who seeks true magic. Magic that cannot be overwhelmed by any other creature or person in the world. The most famous, for which our empire has grown in the shadow of, the Hoarfrost Witch, was the most notorious. She loved her riddles, and she loved conjuring things that would cause growth in a way. You are not the first person I have seen with a gemstone like this. Its riddle is different, admittedly, but it points the same direction, upriver. That was over 5 years ago, however, and I fear now that you may suffer the same fate of an anonymous death should you pursue this path. Is this something you wish to dedicate the remainder of your life to?
Who was I? Who is Jonal? He is no one from nowhere. I will see this through as no one ever has, and I will be someone. From everywhere.
Jonal the Everywhere.
Jonal the Infinite? Is that what you said? So be it, Jonal. I will hope I hear more tales of you in the future. Go north, along the Atera River. Look westward, where the sun sets. And on the second tributary in the west, you will find what it is you seek. Should you survive whatever dangers there are, you may wish to keep what you find to yourself. For you are not the first seeker of the Hoarfrost Witch and her workshop. There will be many a wizard and magical person who will be after your knowledge after this moment. And you will come to learn that anonymity, I fuck up. Oh, excuse me, I need to kill myself. There is honor in service, Jonal. And it is the long-lived who tell stories of the great. It is not often great people last long in this world.
Then may you one day tell stories of me.
I hope so.
What was
Keep
your
what
name
you have
again?
hidden.
Marco.
That is what you may call me, Lady Marigold. But do not try to send nor scry to me. You will find I will not answer. And she stands up quickly. Likely having given you a performative name. And she will retreat into the deeper part of the tent. After you process and then hide your gemstone, the security guy will escort you out. You pass a rando who's like, hey, is her palm reading actually good? Like, what's going on with that?
The best. She is marvelous.
Told ya!
Jonal, you return to your party. So I need to step away real quick. So
Got it. So, how'd it go?
I come bearing insight from a wise and wondrous sorceress, wizard, I know not for sure. It is likely we must follow the second tributary to the west.
Called it! Yes!
They said that it would be very dangerous, that those that had come before us. And mind you, that it wouldn't be anyone who could not access one of these riddles have not returned.
I mean, life's all about danger, Janal. Let's roll. Let's do what Thyman says and roll the dice, right?
Well, that's
Draw
a
the
great
next
way of looking
card
at it.
from the deck.
That's a less good way of looking at it. Let's chisel our stone of destiny.
I thought you said that they were already chiseled, like it was
No,
set.
dude. Every action is a chisel on the stone of destiny.
So your destiny isn't set.
Are
Yes,
the dice that
destiny
you
is
rolled
set in
just
stone.
stones of destiny?
Your destiny is set in stone, right?
Not until it's
Every-
chiseled. That's how you set in
And
stone.
then every action is a chisel.
What the conversation degrades into as we all go into experience. We're gonna skip reputation this week. I gave out a point of reliability, and I do not respect anyone who believes they can argue for charity or
I got my charity point last week. I'm happy.
Well, I was gonna say Jurnal should get greed for trying to cheat at gambling.
I thought
Yeah,
about that.
friendly
while in the
game.
bathroom.
A friendly game.
If he had come out the gate, if either of you had come out the gate cheating, swinging, I would have given you it. But
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
fucking Jonal
He
was
only
pushed
started
to
once
it.
he started losing, and
Yeah.
then he was down bad.
Jonal was
He,
just
like,
a bad
it was a
sport.
desperate-
Yeah,
It was
it
a
was a point
desperate
of
action.
pride, not a point of I am after wealth. And we already gave out the point of reliability to Pax for calling out on the thieves.
Mad respect
no
to those
combat.
guys.
We have roleplay.
I'm just a big winner. I won. Up big.
I
Yeah,
have
Gambling.
taken away quest development as a thing. Normally I'd break up the experience of a quest and then scatter it as you progress through it and making waves. But I've decided not to do that. Instead, it's just going to be a big payout at the end. So you guys are going to get lots for roleplay. Take 250 for roleplay.
Nice.
And that's it. That's all you got.
So that should bring us to a total of 1790.
Yep.
Yep.
Blended.
Someone make a note. I'm not going to edit their sheets. That's just what they're going to be at now. That, or they're just going to be down for missing out on this session and not actually roleplaying. I don't care. I'm not.
Wait, what if instead, right? None of us remind them. Only if they watch this episode to get to this part do they know they need to add. They need to be at 1790. Your
Bro.
XP needs to be at. I repeat again, 1790. And if you aren't watching this, you don't get the XP.
Based.
We're gonna say you don't get it if you ask us how much XP we got last time. You have to watch this, but we're giving you. This is how you get it.
Man, Red's a slave driver. I'm all for it. It seems
Okay,
like
I feel like there's better ways to say it. I'm just saying, watch the episode.
Greg, Hen, if you're mad at it, it's all Red's idea.
all Red.
Throw him over the bus.
Look, you
Go
could have
for it.
skipped through it and just got to this part luckily, seeing that this is how much XP you get. That's just how it works. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Thank you all so much for joining us, but that'll be it, and we're gonna have an abrupt end here because my fucking eyes hurt, guys.
John has to go to sleepy time.
I have to go. You guys have a lovely night wherever you are, and as always, don't die. Woo!
I'm glad we all did.